Hi, folks. Bob Mannery here. You're listening to A2D Radio, real sports talk radio for the fans, by the fans, no agenda. These guys are the best in the business. Hashtag it. No notes.
Welcome in, everybody. A little A2D After Dark right here on A2D Radio. Every show we're brought to by our doc, make him yours, Dr. Paul Vidal, Specialized Physical Therapy, LLC, Burlington, Cherry Hill locations. Find them on the web, specializedphysicaltherapy.com. Tom in the house, Chrome in the house, Tori in the house, Ariana in the house, Lindsay in the house. I mean, Tori's in like Wrigley Field or Field of Dreams. We're not sure where she is. She's muted right now because of the guy in the bar talking a little too loud. So I can't do an intro like that. I'll start stuttering. There'll be issues, and then the whole platform is ruined because Tori's in Florida. So we'll get to all that shout out segment later on the show. Miami Heat come out with some new uniforms today, hot or not. Let the ladies discuss. Me and Chrome, we like to indulge, so we're gonna jump into and let you know. I'm not gonna lie. I mean, it's like a Miami Vice look. So I mean, they're pretty cool. So we'll talk about it. Eagles versus Packers preview. If you want to preview what's going to be, an onslaught. I mean, you're going somewhere where you might get 50 put on you. I mean, that's where we are. I mean, I don't know how we score more than a touchdown, if that, against the Packers. So we'll preview it. We'll try to discuss it. We'll try to see if this team has any fight left. People are going to be fighting for their jobs next Sunday. So time's theirs, as Andy used to say. Time's yours. We're going to find out who they are. We'll recap what was last night. I mean, it took football back 20 years, what I watched last night. But we'll talk about it, and everything ties into our poll question. Brought to by Ambuck Services. 20% off. Let them know A2D sent you. Gutters, gutter guards, gutter installations. Ambuck Services have you covered. AMBUCKservices.com, 20% off. The Eagles should make it in-season changes. The Eagles should make in-season changes. Agree or disagree? Let us know. Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, Twitch. That's where we're live. Everywhere you get your podcasts, we're there as well. Like, subscribe, follow, download, comment in, talk about it, get it off your chest. Another bad one. Been a lot of bad ones. Been a long time since we won 2 in a row here. And even though we didn't feel good, we felt better than we feel today. I mean, today, I'm telling you, it took football back 20 years. It really did, in terms of offense. It took offense back 20 years. There's college that would have been more productive than our offense last night. So with all that being said, the Eagles should make in-season changes, agree or disagree. Should they? Absolutely. I mean, I don't get rid of Will Parks today. I make a statement. I get rid of somebody big today. You know what I mean? I get rid of Alshon. I get rid of somebody big today. I get rid of a big name. You know what I mean? If I'm going to get rid of somebody, I make a statement. I'm not going to get rid of Will Parks for what? He stinks anyway. That's not a statement to anything. Will's a great guy, but he's a special teamer in this league. So that doesn't mean anything. So should they? It's unlike Jeffrey Lurie to fire people in season. Right? He gave Andy the year they were bad, and everybody knew it was coming. He let it finish off. The only one, did he fire Chip in season? Or did he wait? I don't remember about Chip.
One game left with Chip.
One game left.
Oh, wow, really?
I think he embarrassed him at like a Christmas party that year too, and that's another reason why. But regardless, at the end of the day, it's unlike Jeff Lurie to do it. I told you guys last night, I didn't think he was going to fire anybody. It's just not how he operates. Should people be fired? Absolutely. So I'll agree to the poll that we should make it, at least starting with our general manager, and then work from there and let a new GM decide by the end of the year if he wants to coach staff or not. You know what I mean? But you can't go into the year. You can't just not get rid of anything when you're playing this bad. And you cannot look at your general manager who looked like he was shaking in the press box last night as Lewis Riddick verbally abused him all night. I mean, it looked like he was shaking. So I don't know what's left to say for this football team besides a blow up, and that ties into our poll. The Eagles should make in-season changes. Do you agree or disagree? Let us know. I agree, but I don't think they will because that's unlike Jeffrey Lurie. What's everybody say?
But has he ever skipped a game? They said he's never skipped a game in his ownership. He skipped the Browns game. That to me says, and like they said the other day that he left practice early. Like these are things that he has not done before.
Well, it depends on what you believe on report-wise, because the reports were, he was visiting his family and his mother is elderly, and he was visiting family at Thanksgiving. That's why he skipped the game. Then, of course, his displeasure came out. Yeah. Then his displeasure came out with the team, and then now people are speculating that, which is what we do. I mean, it could be either or. I'm not reading too much into him skipping the game, but the displeasure we're hearing, I absolutely buy into that.
Now, the Eagles should make in-season changes, agree or disagree. Whoever wants to go, whoever's got it, whoever wants to go next. I agree, but I don't think it'll happen.
I'll go. I say, yeah, I'm with you because, I mean, all of the reasons that you gave, but also like the first thing that I think of on a general basis would be, okay, like make a change, take the starter out, put somebody else in, and like that puts a little fire like under the starter's butt at least. And even in a lot of cases, like let's say you put the second string in and then he's like, oh shit, like I have a chance. And then he plays better. You know, I just feel like the only like minus there is like maybe that confidence issue that I know people talk about is like, okay, let's move this to Wentz. Let's say you take Wentz out and then you put Hurts in, and then people say like, well, now you're taking away like his confidence that he has when he's playing. Well, then he should be playing better. So I just feel like I think in the end that always helps, but that's my opinion.
Well, I'll go to Ariana next. I mean, you played enough sports to know he's still playing about accountability. So, I mean, should in-season changes happen or should they not? And that doesn't have to be with just the coaching staff or the front office. That can be players too. So, I mean, I would say,
Ariana.
I don't know if she heard me or she's frozen. I said, I'll go to you next about accountability. You play enough sports, you know that being accountable for your play on the field the only thing that keeps the locker room going.
My Wi-Fi is really bad. Like,
yeah, you're going in and out. You're like Tori tonight.
Welcome to my life.
You replaced her tonight. The new house. This is what happened. New house.
Oh yeah.
Putting the Wi-Fi
I
up.
know. It's like it's not stable. Hold on.
All right, you get stable.
Sounds like my life.
Rome, Tori, everybody out there to us. Eagles should make in-season changes. Agree or disagree?
Got Tori.
Okay, agree. I feel like they should have done this weeks ago. Obviously, I want to win the division, but I'm kind of at the point, like, I don't want to tank at all. But if we don't win the division, I'm okay. Like, I'm not okay, but if we get rid of people and don't win the division, I'm okay. Because that's what we need to do. There's nothing good about this team. All we can use right now is some kind of shakeup. Like, I would want it to be Howie, as I talk about all the time. I guess, I don't know, definitely Howie, like 10 above Doug. Doug too. But then it's like, out of everyone, you get rid of Will Parks. He was on like no one's radar of like blaming things. So like people are saying in the chat, Jake Elliott would be one to get rid of, Alshon, if we're going to get rid of players. But I just see it as it needs to be Howie.
James is saying tank for Trevor. I mean, James, I like what you're at, but I feel like there's so many issues on this football team that you need to address. That if you do have a top 5 pick, I don't know if quarterback is going to be one of them things you address again. So,
they don't want another quarterback for the factory, though. We could use another factory employee.
I would hope that the guy that put the factory together isn't here anymore. I hope the factory owner isn't here anymore.
Yeah.
So that's all I can beg for.
Blow that damn factory up.
Chrome, what do you say?
Yeah, I mean, should they? Absolutely. Will Parks doesn't move the needle for me, but I felt like last night we weren't going to see any changes. If we did, it was going to be something Very, very minor. We're going to start showing. We're going to start making some changes. A guy who's barely even played this year. Should they? Yes. Should it be Howie? Absolutely, 100%. I would give Doug till the end of the year, and then reassess him in the offseason. But I just don't see it happening at all. I think they both ride out that Super Bowl pass that they have till the end of the year.
Also, besides firing people, sorry. So the whole question is changes, so not necessarily firing. So the least that it could hurt is hiring offensive coordinator. How does that hurt? It only helps us right now.
You can't. I don't think you can hire an offensive coordinator in season. But yes, they need to do that next year. That has to be priority one.
Well, I mean, not even hire an offensive coordinator. You can just give it off to somebody else. I mean, it's like anything else in the world. When you're struggling, the smart people hand things off. The smart people say, hey, you try something. This organization and this coaching staff, right, has done nothing to adapt or change this year, right? And when you talk about you're playing professional sports, right, you're playing sports, period, right, adjustments are key. And this used to be a football team where we would say, you know what? We see adjustments year in, year out, at least in games. Like in-game adjustments used to be a positive for this football team. Second half adjustments used to be something we can hang our hat on for this football team. All right, that's gone away. That's disappeared. There's no second half adjustments. There's no adjustments, period. Outside of the first half of Washington, this has been a spiral ever since. All right, a spiral ever since. After the 17-0 lead and all of us feeling so good about ourselves, all right, it was all mirage. And then reality set in. And what reality is the coaching staff, the players, etc., have lost their resiliency. And that happens. That happens after you go to the dance 3 straight years and you win a Super Bowl by being banged up every year. Right? That goes away. Your resiliency goes away. It's hard to continuously overcome. You're going to have a year you don't overcome. I'm not saying a pass. I'm just saying for Doug Pederson. I don't think that groceries on this roster are any good. So, like, if you're not making changes up front right now, and you're not making changes to the coaching staff, you need to start making some player changes. And that's where I stand on it. I mean, I want your guys' opinions on it because I think I wouldn't bench Carson going into this game. We have like 4 yards of offense again. It's not even because of him solely, but I have to just make it. Just to have accountability on my roster. And the fact that it hasn't been made, period, tells me that I don't know if Doug wants to be here. I don't know.
Let me just interject really quick. I didn't know if it was just me hearing this, but Tor, I think the background noise is kind of cutting in. Like when Tom, is anyone else hearing that?
Yeah.
So maybe try and mute, and then when you're speaking. Oh.
I can't withdraw.
I wasn't sure if that was just me hearing that, and everyone's like, audio's bad.
It's so weird. It's literally one person on the other side of the room. Like, that's so weird.
All right, so continue.
No, I just have to make a change somewhere on this roster too. I mean, the accountability just doesn't come on the coaches and the general manager. I mean, these are NFL players. Accountability starts to fall on your guys' heads too. So it just can't be, we look at just certain things, right? I mean, so I want everybody's opinion. Do you start Jalen Hurts this week? Or do you start Carson Wentz? And if he struggles again, you just make the move just to make it. You're not making it because you believe anything good's coming out of it. I start Carson this week, but he's on an official leash.
I don't think Carson was the problem this week. Personally. Why are you looking at me like I'm crazy? The first 3 drives were 3 and outs, but I wouldn't completely blame that on Carson. However, after that, he kind of got it together. Besides the interception, just one, I think.
Just the one.
just one, but I mean,
But I'm in the. I think starting Hurts and not starting Carson will take him back more and hurt him more than. I don't know. I see it as hurting Carson. I think that would be giving up on Carson completely.
I'm tired of feelings, Dor. I'm tired of feelings in this business. Listen, I love Carson Wentz. I support Carson Wentz. This is the National Football League. This ain't my buddy. This ain't my buddy. I'm trying to win football games. And at the end of the day, if I don't hold my $100 million people accountable, who do I hold accountable? I hold Fletcher Cox accountable like he's doing my taxes or paying my bills. I mean, that's how much I hold the guy accountable. And at the end of the day, how can I not hold my $100 million quarterback accountable, even though he's my son? He's my son. And I'm telling you, he looks atrocious out there.
If we didn't draft Jalen Hurts, are you at this time crying for, or is everyone crying for, let's start Nate Sudfeld?
Crying?
No.
Nobody's crying. I'm telling you how locker rooms work. I'm just telling you how locker rooms work.
Are you starting Nate Sudfeld?
Yes. No, not starting. No. I'm talking about in middle. I'm talking about an in-game change, if necessary, and Carson gets his job back the next week. The same thing that happened to Donovan McNabb in the city. If Donovan can handle it, Carson needs to learn how to handle it, because Donovan handled it like a man. They went on to an NFC title game that year. So
you just said you were going to start. You would start Hurts.
No. I said I would not start. Carson, but he's on an official leash. So what do you guys say? You don't think he's on a leash, a little leash?
I think the same. I mean, I think it's kind of hard just because, to me, like, neither of them are looking hot right now. So it's like, no, I wouldn't. I would still start Wentz, but like, I agree with you. Like, he would just be. Like, Hurts isn't impressive either. So it's not like you're like switching from Wentz and being like, oh, this guy's great, he's going to take your spot. Well, he's not great either. So we're not really, I don't know. It's just hard.
Well, how about this, though? The caveat of I want him to play for twofold. I want to prove to the idiots he can't play either, and that he has nothing around him. There's nothing around him either. So he's going to come in and fail. I mean, he might be successful for a week because he's a gadget, but I mean, then the tape's out. You know what I mean? And once the tape gets out, it's a different ballgame. So, I mean, I'm not. Listen, everybody out there thinks that I'm. Let me clarify this, okay? Because you can't say anything in this city without people thinking you have an agenda. I'm the biggest Carson Wentz guy there is. I've made excuses week in and week out for this guy. It comes a point of time, excuses go away, and you say you got to play better. You're too good for this. I've seen regression out of my quarterback. I'm tired of hearing about the coach. He's in year 5. He can't regress this much and not be held accountable for it. There's nothing around him. I get it. Our offensive line's putrid. Okay. Our receivers are putrid. Our running backs, I don't even know who he is. He's an MVP, I guess. Everybody's putrid, but he's not supposed to be. That's the key. He's not supposed to be putrid. He's supposed to raise the level of people around him. You want to know what greatness does? Greatness makes everybody better. So my question:
you didn't see him get in rhythm towards the end of the game, though?
No.
Or he couldn't. If rhythm came up and punched him square in the mouth last night, he wasn't finding rhythm. I mean, he was the opposite. Even when he's running, he looks like he's stiff as a board. I mean, everything looks tight.
He was told for how many years to not run?
Well, he might have been told not to run. I don't know.
After his injury.
Do we have a clear Ariana right now to answer the poll? Because she's the only one who did. I don't think.
Here she is. She's clear.
Yeah.
Let's make sure everyone heard. Well, listen, maybe you heard it. I was telling you about accountability, and we talk about changes. It doesn't just have to be coaches or GMs. It can be players. Like not released, but at least sat down. So the Eagles should make in-season changes. Agree or disagree?
So as much as I want to agree with it, the only reason I'm going to disagree is because I'm going to have hope that if Lori can sit on this longer, he'll make better decisions with time instead of doing something rash now, even though it seems like it needs to be done now, because they're awful. I didn't even watch the whole game last night. Like, it's just, they're so boring. Like, making a change now, we're still not going to be a playoff team in my eyes. What's the point of doing it now? Like, I'd rather him sit on it and make a better decision.
For me.
tour.
So
For you, for them, for all of us.
I mean, listen, there's always. I mean, we did this last year. I mean, this time last year we lost to the Dolphins. It was a wrap.
mhm.
It was over. I just want to remember to take. We're gonna go back. We're going on a little time machine. Here we are, back to the future.
No
And
Fitz magic.
Yep, we're going back last year.
I didn't think things could get worse then, but they
No,
could.
kickers were throwing touchdowns. But I'll tell you this: kickers were throwing touchdowns in that game last year. But what I will say is our offense was scoring points though. That's the difference. Yeah. He wasn't playing this bad. So last year we made up all the excuses in the world and he balled out. This year he has the same deck almost, and he's gotten really bad. I mean, did nobody else see that? Does it look stiff? Does anybody else just feel like he looks stiff? I don't know.
There were points last night where I felt like he tried to. I'll give him this, and this is a very, very faint credit. At points last night, it did feel like he tried to channel the old Carson, and it was that kind of a reckless style. And I'll take the reckless style at this point because that's when Carson played his most successful football, where he was making plays with his legs. Going in, he wasn't sliding, he was taking hits. And there was a point in the middle of the game for about 3 drives where you started to see that. But then, again, he makes a mistake or guys start dropping balls and the confidence is gone all of a sudden. And then we're right back into it. I don't see that Carson that's grinding from whistle to whistle. Again, we talked about it last night. There's one thing. I'm an effort guy, right? If I'm seeing the effort on the field and they're just losing, that's one thing. I don't see effort by this team. They're dropping footballs right in their hands. Carson missing passes left and right, not making decisions. Tom was saying he's a one progression guy, right? He looks in one direction and that's it. That last night he threw that pick. He had 2 guys wide open. Well, not wide open, but he had 2 guys with favorable matchups that if you toss the ball up, they have a chance to make a play for a score in the end zone. 2 guys on the left side with nobody else in sight. That's stuff that Carson before would recognize. He would do his progressions, check down. Okay, we don't have this. Take a look to the left side or pump fake and then shift his feet. You're not seeing any of that. He's got tunnel vision. Okay, this is the play. This is where it has to go. I'm going to force it into there, hoping for the best. And I got to disagree with what you said earlier, Tori. I didn't see much progression at all. For 3 drives, I saw a little bit of extra heart that I haven't seen. But again, this team is like the ultimate defeated team. You look at Doug Pederson in his press conference last night, and he looked like he was the most disinterested person on the field or in the building. And that's just and that's the way that they carry it. To me, it trickles down from the top. Howie's packing up his bag before the 2-minute warning to get out. Like it all just stems from that. And as far as Jeffrey, I agree. I don't want to see them make any rash decisions, but to me, if Carson's not performing, and should he have a short leash, he should have had a leash 3 weeks ago. We're about a month. We're getting to about a month at this point where there should have been a leash put on this guy when he's not performing well by the halfway through the third quarter, and we haven't seen it yet. It was amazing that he was still on the field in that fourth quarter last night.
We talked about it. Listen, this might be a cold take. I want everybody's opinion on it. This might be an extremely cold take, and I'm fine with it.
I think I disagree already.
I want to be my first. I'm not firing Doug Pederson. And I'm going to tell you why before everybody tells me how cold it is. All right? Because there's about 10 teams out there that are looking for a head coach. All right? There's not that many names out there in the head coaching circuit. So now I'm up against all these other teams that are in the mix for a head coach. So what makes me think I'm going to get the 2 biggest names out there? Right? I'm up against it. I'm willing to say, you know what? This guy might not be the best XO guy, but he's always been a good leader of men. And there's a lot of coaches out there that are great leaders of men that still have their job coaching in this league because of that. And one's Mike Tomlin. Might not be the best X and O guy, but he gets the most out of his players. So I'm willing to let him go one more year. What does everybody else say? Would you give him one more year? Or are you saying at the end of this year, regardless, it's time for Doug to go?
I'm not.
If we get rid of Howie, yeah.
Sorry to cut you off. I didn't know if you were going to go.
You're
I
good.
agree with you, Tom. I'm not firing Doug right now. I think they need to. I think Doug has a better shot at coaching how he did in the Super Bowl versus Wentz coming back how he was pre-injury. Like, I don't think Doug is the main source of everything that's going on, as crazy as it sounds.
No, it's not. I don't think he just forgot how to coach. I
I do think Carson forgot how to play.
And I never usually players don't forget how to play. But I agree to that. I mean, I know people are laughing hey, Tom, how you gonna say this? How you saying this? I see people in the chat. Doug's garbage. Doug's garbage. Okay. You be garbage with this roster. Who's winning games with this roster? Who? Bill Belichick isn't winning games with this roster. Newsflash. Nobody's winning games with this wide receiver core. Everything's bad. Sorry. Go ahead. Everybody else, tell me. Is that a cold take? Giving Doug one more year?
Go ahead, ladies.
Tori, I was just my answer's simple. I'm with you. I would say that I don't think that's a cold take. I would give him another year too. I agree. Like just that last few sentences you were saying there. Everyone's saying he sucks, but everybody sucks. Like we don't have it's not like, wow, these are really great players, but you can obviously tell that it's stemming from Doug himself. Like you can't really say that directly. Like nobody's really performing well. So I would say give him another year.
Tor? She muted herself or what? I don't know what.
Still muted, Tor.
Tor,
We knew it was going to happen at some point.
It's not me.
I did. I muted myself. I'm dead. I wish I could do this in real life. If if we got rid of Howie and we got an offensive coordinator, I'm semi okay with keeping Doug. Like he's not my main culprit right now, but I'm at the point where if they're not doing anything but firing Doug, I'm kind of okay with that too because I need some kind of change. But he's definitely not my main thing I want to get rid of. But however, his game plans are trash. His plays are trash. I'm considering studying and applying to be a offensive coordinator. Fuck it, why not? He's bad. He's bad. And then the announcers were saying in the real end of the game last night, they were just confused and astounded by our game plan. And I was like, wow, that's exactly how I feel. What are we doing here with the Hurts thing? I hate to bring that up again, but when we put him out there, okay, they took Carson off the field. You put him out there, still not doing anything. It's they're not putting him in at the right times. Give him a whole series or not at all. Going back and forth like that, it's not good for either one of them. I don't think.
Well, this is when you look at an organization that doesn't know what they're doing. When you talk about, you might be getting pressure from the owner to play him. I mean, Doug looks like a guy who's mad to me, and that stems back to about January last year, February, when he told everybody his coaches were coming back, and then they were fired the next day by his owner. I mean, that looks like a guy that's wait, what? After that moment, you're wondering well, how's the rest of this going to play out? Who's in charge here, right? I thought this guy had enough carte blanche for being a Super Bowl champion head coach that he gets to pick and choose. Who his assistants are. And that's the first sign of a power struggle. I mean, that's 101 power struggle. Who made that call? Was it Howie? Was it Jeffrey? Right? And that's what I'm curious to know, because if general managers and owners are getting involved on offensive coordinators, and who stays and who goes on a coaching staff, I don't know. I mean, I'm okay with my general manager hopping in on that. But
that's when he had the interview where he was saying, "Oh no, yeah, all my coaches are fine," and then the next day, Groh was fired, right?
Yep.
Remember? Yeah. So yeah, I would feel like an asshole too, and I would feel wow, this whole city knows that I don't have any say in anything,
Yeah, it's not a good look.
Yeah.
The Chrome.
I had a lot of time to think about it because we were pretty hot last night. And there was a lot of emotion, a raw emotion last night with some of the things we were saying. And I think about it today, and you make a great point. There's a lot of teams out there that are looking for head coaching positions to be filled this year. And I sit back and I look at this team and I think, For years, this was a destination to go to. And now I look at this roster and we know that the cap situation they're going to be in next year. And we're probably going to have 2 or 3 years really of tough football to watch in this city. And in my eyes, when you're talking about those top 2 guys, we were talking about Bieniemy and Joe Brady last night. I don't see this as a destination for these guys. I don't know that this is a job that these guys look back and say, I got to go to Philadelphia and take that head coaching job. Because what's on this roster? We can't even think of 5. We had a hard time thinking of 3 guys that are 25 and under that you can build this team around. And that, to me, as a head coach, is one of the top head coaching candidates, particularly if Howie is here. Absolutely, I wouldn't want to touch this job for years. And so to me, your best option probably is to bring Doug back and give him another year. Howie has to go. He has to go. There's no ifs, ands, or buts. There's no scenario that Howie stays here. And if he does, then to me, that's an indictment, not even on Howie anymore. It's an indictment on Jeffrey Lurie and this organization as a whole. Bro.
When the picture surfaces, I'm sure he'll get another year. I mean, I feel like that's been the MO. He's got some kind of pictures.
Yeah, it has. But to me, you have to roll with Doug. And again, we talked about it last night. Even if I have a new GM come in here, at this point, I'm rolling with Doug. Short leash. Give him next year. Let's see what we can do. And you need to get into – at this point, I want him to lose out. I'm not going to lie. I want him to lose out. I want him to get in the top 5 in the draft with a new general manager making those picks. And that, to me, if they can get into the top 5 and they change their general manager, that could tip the scale. Then maybe that does open up. You know what? If you can bring a Louis Riddick in to be the general manager, maybe then guys like Bieniemy and Brady, the top 2 candidates probably this offseason, do look at it as, okay, clean slate. I have an opportunity to pick my own coordinators, pick my own coaching staff. We're at the top of the draft. I can pick my cornerstone guys I want to build around with this new general manager. That makes it a destination. But as is right now, absolutely not. I think right now Doug is your best option.
Well, how about this one? Well, if we go, Marquise is saying, real quick, Louis Riddick is a new GM. That'd be great. I think a lot of people would love that here. Further, AM says, watching Howie Roseman packing his bags in Lurie's box with 2:16 left in the game was priceless. Yeah, it'd been more priceless if he got fired today, too. James Michael Wentz just needs to throw the ball better, make better decisions with the ball, run the ball more. Miles is a great back. I mean,
last statement, nope.
Yeah,
he hasn't proven it yet.
No, it's great. I mean, I don't know why we keep doing this. I don't know. This is where the overvalue comes in. You want to say good back? Sure, we'll say good back. When you put the ball on the turf all day and you can't catch balls wide open, probably not great. Probably good, solid. Ball player, I don't know. I'm not talking about Miles Sanders. There's nobody on offense that's untouchable. Everybody could go. You know what I mean? Really, everybody could go. Then it says run the ball. I mean, I love to run the balls, but you guys all want to put that on the coach. And that's fine. I watch a guy change the plays at the line of scrimmage all the time. So, and then when we do run the ball, especially last night, we got blown up. So I don't know. I don't know what to do with running the ball, and if we're gonna, run the ball every play, and and what's that gonna do? I mean, nothing's getting this guy into a rhythm. Nothing's getting this offense into a rhythm. Even when we run the ball, we end up putting it on the turf, or we kill ourselves that way. I mean, this team offensively has killed themselves in every way, shape, or form they can. It's not one person. This is a group activity. It's a group project. It's a group project. We're watching an F happening, right? Where nobody's taking accountability. Nobody's showing up. The group projects, usually like the one person does, you know what I mean? And everybody takes credit for it. Listen, there ain't even the one person doing it. You know what I mean? Everybody got the F. Nobody showed up. They all thought somebody else was going to take care of it. That's where we're at right now. So we're going to look ahead. We went to the time machine, and now we're going to go into the future a little bit. All right, and now we're going to look ahead to this Packers game where, maybe jobs are on the line. And I want to know, is there any, like we were here last year against Miami, and everybody said we weren't going to probably win another game. He probably had us not win another game. A place we do play well, usually, is in Green Bay for some reason.
We didn't look this bad last year. I'm sorry. We did not.
No, we did not.
It was a couple missed catches. Like, that was our thing. We can't even identify our number one problem. We have so many now.
Our number one problem? No, I have no idea. There's about
Last year
15
it was
problems.
dropping the ball. Yeah.
No, that's 100% factual. I'm just saying this league's weird, and the Packers look like they might score 100 this week.
Yeah.
And usually when that starts to happen, you maybe get a closer game than you expected. But I don't know. You guys, everybody else can go first on this one because mine's gonna probably be ugly. Tori, you mute again?
Yeah, my bad. Can we put our names up on here? Because these guys are like real confused about what girls are like who. I know we're all blonde, but like we all don't look the same.
I don't care. Rome could come on.
No.
Rome could go on Fan Friday and address whatever girl he's talking
Like
about. I don't.
Rome needs to hide his donor from the chat. Because
I don't care. I haven't
that's not
addressed Rome.
this is story. I cannot.
All right. I don't give a shit about Rome's comments. With all due respect, Rome. Tor, go ahead.
What was the question?
I don't even know now because you switched. You threw me a curveball now. Now I feel like I'm the Eagle. You know what I mean? I don't know what's going on. I don't know. I mean, this football, with a lot on the line in terms of jobs, in terms of so much, is there any wake up going to happen where they're going to play at least better football, or is this a beatdown next Sunday? Like, is this a beatdown so bad? Because remember, this is the Fox game of the week. It's a 425er in Green Bay. Big time announcers on it. It's Troy and Joe. All right. This is another prime timer in a way. So if they get rolled, essentially rolled, like they got rolled last night, just in a different type of roll. But if they get rolled, and you're talking about everybody probably going then, or do they come show up and put up a dogfight? That's sort of my question. What direction do you have this game going? And obviously, like every week we do, you give a score, and I want best and worst case scenario. And best might be a loss. It's just competitive. That's fine. I don't expect anybody to have a win. Good for you if you got a win tonight. Good for you after last night if you got a win on Sunday. Lindsay, lead us off. Chrome, lead us off. Tor, Ariana, whoever. We can raise our hand in like the classroom. Go ahead.
All right, I'll go. I think we're gonna put up a fight. Am I muted? No. I think we're gonna put up a fight. We were a lot closer last night than I thought we would be. Like surprisingly, we were freaking in it somehow. I think we'll put up a fight, and like you said, we have played well surprisingly against Green Bay in Green Bay. I'm still gonna have us losing, but I'm gonna go like 27-23. It's gonna be a close one.
27-23.
Yeah,
Is that
we're
a
gonna.
best case scenario? Wow.
Yeah, that's the best case scenario for us now.
Worst?
We're not gonna. Our worst case scenario, could be for me, Carson Wentz getting pulled from the game. I'm not at that point, and I think I'm a homer about it, and it might be like a blind loyalty. I know. Yeah. All right. Well. Yeah, all right. But you know what? Also, that could be a good thing too, because like you guys and other people are saying, let's get Hurts in to see that, like, all right, he's not the answer. You know what I mean? So it could be a bad and a good thing. I don't know.
So we won't find out our roster has gotten worse, even more so than we already. So that's fun times. I mean, that's really worst case scenario. Like Carson plays horrific, and then Jalen comes in and throws like 3 picks.
Plays horrific, yeah.
There's the factory just burned down, that QB factory of ours. There it goes.
What happened?
I'm tired of the quarterback controversy. As soon as Hurts was drafted, that's what I was like, oh, here we go again. I heard about Nick Foles for 3 freaking years. Like, my mind wanted to blow from it. As soon as we drafted him, it's not what I felt like hearing. And now what we're doing now. All about Jalen Hurts.
How can you live in that dark corner of your room and be dark Tory all year with the piss poor Wi-Fi about everything else, and all of a sudden the one guy on the field who's absolutely been terrible, and he's your quarterback, the most important guy, and you're shaking the pom-poms for him still? How is that possible?
I wouldn't say this is a pom-poms new.
I don't know. It sounds like a pom-pom shake to me. I'm hearing a lot of...
I know I'm an apologist. I know this. At least I know my problems. Like
accountability, Tori. That's all we ask for on A2D. More than the Eagles.
I got it. I'm just going to keep praying like I have been doing for the resurrection of Carson Wentz. So I appreciate the prayers.
See, like, I don't think benching Carson is even necessarily I'm not worried about the message it sends in terms of what we're going to have with Jalen Hurts. To me, whether it's Nate Sudfeld, whether we still had freaking Kevin Kolb on this team, whoever the backup quarterback is, there needs to be a message sent to the quarterback, and there needs to be a message sent to the rest of the team, and that is nobody's job is safe. You have to perform on the field to be on the field. And to me, you do that with Carson, that's the ultimate message. That's the one guy that maybe Fletcher's the other guy. Those two guys are your basically your $1 million guys. Those are the guys you send that message with. And Fletcher's played well enough to stay on the field. Carson is not.
No. I know there's everything bad around him, but no, he hasn't. Lindsay, best case scenario, worst case scenario.
I haven't thought about those. I was thinking about kind of how the game's going to go. I'm thinking that the score is going to be, what'd I say? Like 14-23. I'm going, and I'm going to go that they're going to play bad, but they're literally not even going to play to win. It's just going to be a game so that they're trying not to embarrass themselves with a really bad loss. So they're going to fight. It's going to be a good fight, but they're really just going to be trying to hold back a huge embarrassment. So that is my thought on that.
Yeah, still no good. I mean, that would be close. I mean, I guess that's closer. I mean, 14 points feels like a lot too. I mean, the way this team's scoring points, I don't know. The one thing, Tora, I'll say is, like, I hope that God, he comes out and, in terms of Wentz, redeems himself. You know what I mean? Like, I'm waiting for it. I thought this was going to be the week. I haven't seen it. I don't know when I'm going to see it. I don't know how many, the definition of insanity. We know what that is. So I don't want to continue to keep.
Time's running out.
Yeah, I don't want to keep every week saying it and then him not deliver for me too as a fan when I'm expecting it. So it just wears thin on me. Like, all right, it looks like you're not going to put it all together this week either. So everything I'm waiting for is not going to happen. So, Ariana, what do you say? I mean, the best case scenario, do we keep it close? Do we win it? And then worst case, I think we all know what that is.
Yeah. So I think everyone knows by now, like, since the minute Wentz has ever stepped on the football field, I haven't liked him. My best case scenario is he gets pulled the first quarter and goes home and cries to his wife. Like, he's changed ever since he's had this baby. Not that I liked him before, but I can't stand the guy. I think he's trash. So I think he gets benched regardless what Hurts does. Like, no one said Hurts is top 5. Tori, unmute yourself if you're going to interrupt me. Just do it. Hurts comes in. Who cares if he does good or does bad? A win's not going to help us. If we lose, it's what we're all expecting. Our expectations are low anyway. But my best case is Wentz is just done. Done, on the bench. See ya in a couple weeks. Don't, bye-bye. My worst case scenario is they don't bench him and he does good, because that in Doug's head would be enough to just keep him playing for the rest of the season, which is so stupid. But I think we get pummeled either way, whoever's in there, 44-10.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, whether we agree or not, man, that the chat is on fire. That was the comments of the night right there. Woo, I loved it. I didn't expect that. My jaw dropped. And actually, it might. I don't even know if it's still hinged. I loved it.
Yeah.
Oh, what's funny about that is it's hard to disagree with it.
At this point,
it's hard.
I disagree.
We don't.
What do you got, Tor? Hit me.
What do I got?
Do you have a rebuttal?
You never liked Wentz. Yeah, you never liked Wentz from the jump. Why? Because he's a redhead?
Hey.
Like, what about?
No.
We got a redhead in here. Like, what's the problem?
Looks was not my
the hair?
judgment on him. I
Is it the beard?
I don't see it. I never saw it. I don't know. And I know I'm one of the few that feel like that. I get it, but you're just my opinion is never going to be changed on him.
How did you think he played the year of the Super Bowl before he got hurt? Average?
Tor, I can't do that anymore.
Yeah, we can't talk about the Super Bowl year anymore.
Yes, we can. I'm going back
he's so far removed from that, though.
Can't though.
She said she never liked him from the jump.
Yeah,
so I'm just taking it back a little bit.
Yeah, absolutely. Most
do you like
quarterbacks in my mind, like,
you like Santa Claus?
I don't really care for baseball that much. Like in my mind, like quarterback on most what? Oh
do
yeah.
You hate puppies?
No, I love puppies. Just baseball.
You're the new Tory. Oh my god.
I think softball is better than baseball, but I'm obviously biased on that one. It's just so slow. 9 innings feels like it's a year and a half wasted of my life.
What else do you have better to do?
A lot of things.
I don't.
Well, whose fault is that, Missy? You can find
Tinder's fault.
Yeah, don't do that shit. I never did that. So there you go. There's your answer.
Wait until you're 33, single, in Florida, sleeping on your sister's air mattress.
When you know you made it.
You try.
Florida.
Tori's trying to find alternative sleeping arrangements for the rest of the trip.
I can't. Yeah.
I hope nobody else gets jealous. Anybody trying to hang out on holidays or anything, you know?
Oh shit. Everyone should be jealous of my life. I'm just kind of shocked though. Like, you threw me for a loop, Ariana, because like I didn't know about your hate for Carson Wentz. So like I didn't I don't know. I'm just kind of thrown off here.
I kind of thought it was like obvious, even like the first 2 weeks. Like, I've never really said anything good about him because in my mind there's not much good to say. Like,
my gosh.
Look at all the other franchise quarterbacks. You hear about them in the news all the time. Wentz, even before this season, you never really heard of him. Like, I feel like a quarterback is a quarterback. That's he's the main guy on the field. Like, he's who everyone looks to from all angles. Like, I don't know. Like, you don't really hear about him in the news. You don't hear about him ever. And you never did.
That's a good thing.
No.
Mr. Aaron Rodgers, you want Mr. Aaron Rodgers for your quarterback? He don't even talk to his family if we're talking about quarterbacks and how they look.
No, I get that.
Where'd you get that from, The Bachelor?
Never hyped him.
I know where you got that from.
Really?
I know where you got that. You got that from The Bachelorette when his brother was on there. I know.
Do I look like I watched The Bachelorette?
He talked about how he didn't talk to his brother. Absolutely.
Yes,
I know where you're pulling that. I know where you get your information from. I watch it too. And I openly say it on here. Everybody knows I watch The Bachelor.
So, Chrome, you're watching it right now? Because is it on right now?
I'm DVRing The Bachelor. They got my girl Tasha on there too. That's my favorite ever.
Honestly,
before the show, my sister was doing her Bachelor bracket.
Oh.
I was like,
I never did one of those.
I want to do one of those, but honestly,
I Snapchatted it.
I don't like The Bachelor until it gets to top 5.
Yeah, well, I'm
really gonna learn everyone's names before that. You're not.
Listen, I'm a big fan of Tasha. She's made the show absolutely must see. I'm really excited about it. Really excited about it.
This was so
calm yourself. Put your legs down over there.
Excited about it.
Throwing his legs up in the air and shit. Oh, okay. Look what I can do. Thank you.
Listen, I'm starting away from The Bachelor. I'm starting to think he can't play. You know, I'm starting to lean towards Tori's man not being able to play. I'm closer there than I am to him being good. And I'm never uncomfortable, Yusuf. To answer your question, I can talk about anything. You know what I mean? You can talk about somebody painting the wall, and I can have a conversation about. Yeah, I think you could stroke a little bit better in the corner there.
You could talk about that for 7 days straight.
Sort of like I did with the Eagles.
Yeah.
This train wreck. I'm just more leaning towards he's not the 2017 guy. Like that guy. That's almost a mirage anymore. And it's hard for me not to say that. I mean, at the end of last year, I felt like it was unbelievable how he put guys on his back and carried guys and made big plays. It seemed like a long time ago.
Yeah, I would agree with you, Tom, in that the skill set is there, the makeup is there, but you still have to be able to utilize it. And for some reason, it's just not coming together for this guy. And there's tons of players in the league. That's why there's guys who've gone number 1 and number 2 overall in every sport that have been drafted and are busts. The talent is always there, but you have to be able to translate it and perform on the field. And some guys don't have it. I'm not going to say that he's never going to be a top 10 quarterback in this league. I would say even now, definitely don't see it happening in Philadelphia. I think this organization screwed him up. I think he let it get into his head, the full stuff at first, and then by bringing in Jalen Hurts to me was the dagger. And I think that's so far into this guy's head that he's absolutely lost on the field. And I could see him going to Indianapolis in 2023 and ending up the quarterback for Indianapolis. And honestly, I almost feel like I would rather see that scenario where we move on, because I do like Carson and I would like to see him succeed somewhere. But I want us to also be able to be in a better position. So I want him to turn it around. And if we have to move him and get an asset back and move on from him, that would honestly, to me, is the best case scenario, because I don't think he's ever going to consistently have it in Philadelphia. I want him to have one really big comeback year, and then be able to trade him at a high value. And I think we need another quarterback here. And Jalen Hurts isn't the guy.
You need to stop.
That was my question. Is Jalen Hurts our franchise quarterback?
No, I don't think the franchise quarterback is with this team right now.
Carson Wentz could still be a franchise quarterback, Marquise. I mean, nobody's saying that. I know there's bums all around him. I've been yelling and screaming about it. All right, but at some point he's got to make some plays. Is that all uncomfortable to you? Like, you cannot watch his team. Marquise, you're family here, and you gotta be real with me and be objective, because the whole time
it's impossible.
I stuck by him and haven't been fully objective on him. I'm watching one look reads. I'm watching him stare down wide receivers. I'm watching him uncomfortable. I'm watching him move around the pocket. I'm watching him throw the ball stiff. I'm watching a lot of things that make me uncomfortable about him. So yes, over this 11 games, he looks so far removed from 2017 Carson Wentz.
What is that?
Sure.
Oh my God, fuck my life. Like, I can't win.
Is that a Junior Bacon? Did somebody order a little something on the dollar menu? Well, like a guy was going through the headset, like, "Oh, like, what can I take? What can I get for you tonight?"
People are 500 yards away, so it's weird.
I'll just shut up. Unplug the headphones. I'll yell, "Shut up." Maybe we'll hear it. Well, he's 500 yards away now. But earlier on, he was 10 feet away. He managed to get 500 yards away from you now. Now he's 5 football fields away. The Eagles aren't scoring going 5 football fields, I'll tell you that.
I exaggerate.
I'm not saying he stinks. I'm not saying he can't be the guy. Listen, responses in sports, that happens, right? I don't know. But every week I wait for the response. I don't see it. Every week it gets worse and worse. So how do we continue to say, well, it's about everybody else? I understand him not having Hurts. But listen, some point you got to make a play. So I don't think either one of the answer. He went
on and made a play for himself. What was it? The second first down of the game? He ran it for himself. Like, that's the point where he's at, where he has to do these things for himself again.
So, I mean, I think Carson's more of your franchise quarterback than Jalen Hurts is. But, I mean, I don't know enough about Jalen Hurts at the NFL level. I mean, Carson still has proven to me he can play it at this level. He's proven he can be a franchise guy. But it seems like every year we're getting further removed from that guy. So, for me to say that, either one of these guys right now look like the franchise guy, I think that's a little green Kool-Aid talk. Anybody see differently? Besides Tor? I know Tor sees differently.
No, there's a whole lot of there's just way too many of this midnight green shades, and people got to take them off. It's not rainbows and butterflies with Carson anymore. I'm sick of the excuses. And I love our fam like Marquise and all these guys are in here all the time, but I'm seeing the same stuff every week that they're posting to defend him, and then he does the exact opposite in games. We have to stop making excuses. Franchise quarterbacks still make plays. Again, it's an effort thing. I don't expect him to win every week, but I expect to see a better effort from my quarterback. And the fact that he's gotten worse and worse and worse every week is mind-blowing to me that you people continue to defend this guy.
Has our O-line gotten worse? Has our wide receivers gotten worse? Has Rieger gotten worse? Has Sanders gotten worse? Has Elliott gotten worse?
They've all gotten worse. Last year with all kinds of injuries and with guys. He had nobody to worse last year. Stop making excuses.
I'm coming in, and I'm putting an end to this. And I'm putting an end to everybody in the chat and everybody, period. Right? Great players make players around them better. Great players make big-time plays. Is he great or is he not? Because I didn't draft him number 2 overall to be average. I drafted him to be great. It's simple as that. There's no in the middle here. I'm tired of excuses. I'm tired. I know the T-shirt guy sucks, Marquise. I know he sucks. That's why I yelled at everybody week 1 when everybody crowned him as the next TO. I said he's going to stink. Calm down. I know the roster's atrocious. I get it. But if I put Patrick Mahomes on this team last night, they win that game. Period. If I put Russell Wilson, I switch teams. Guess who looked like Russell Wilson will win that game. So top 10 quarterbacks make big time plays. Aaron Rodgers wins that game.
Listen, I'll tell you right now. And you know me, I'm not a Matt Stafford guy, but Matt Stafford every year.
We're bringing Matt Stafford into the chat. I cannot.
No, but year in and year out, Matt Stafford is a prime example of a guy who people hold a high regard for. And I feel like the reason they do is because even though they don't win, he is an effort guy and he makes plays. Carson doesn't make anybody around him better. Anybody around him better right now. Not this entire year. He did it last year for half of the season. And that's a problem.
Can I say this without wanting them out of town? Can people have it both ways one time? Can I have it both ways? I'm not running him out of town. I'm telling you, he has to play better. This is not good enough. I don't care anymore because I'll be the biggest agenda-filled guy if I came on here and told you about everybody else but him. But him. Okay? I defended Donovan McNabb every year, year in, year out, all right, and never wavered on it. This is the first time I wavered on Carson Wentz. I'm allowed to. I'm allowed to be scared right now. I'm allowed to be nervous if this is my future or not. And I'm allowed to be scared to death of sitting through 5 years of the most atrocious football ever, which could happen if he's not the guy. So part of me is a fearful thing because I don't want to continue to talk Eagles when it's slop. So I'm scared of it, all right? Because I did it for a long time, and I don't want to do it again. It's that simple. We're allowed to have it both ways, guys. We're allowed to still think he's going to be here and pray for him to be good and say right now, objectively, it's atrocious.
Agree. Tori, if I'm your customer, whatever your job is, right? If I'm your customer or I'm your manager, right? And we know the skill set.
Big difference. Are you my customer or my manager?
It works the same way because we know how good you can be, but you're not performing up to par. Am I supposed to make excuses for you that you're not performing up to par? Am I supposed to pat you on the back? And even though I'm holding everybody else all right, I'm your manager. I'm holding everybody else accountable. Everybody else accountable on the team. But because I know how great you can be, I say, listen, I know you're not doing it. And for a year now, I know you're not doing it. You're not working up the potential, but it's okay because I know you can be great. I know the skill set's there. But yet the people who are working hard but just don't perform.
So in my personal experience,
those people, I mean, it's not fair. You have to hold everybody accountable.
When I have worked in my life, and anytime I was not working up to potential or doing my best, is usually because I was working in a toxic environment. So what I'm going to call this organization and this locker room is toxic.
Hold on. No. Mr. Dog Guy and Instagram photos with puppies and the greatest hunter of all time. I need you to be a locker room leader then. You're getting paid $100 million to bring everybody kumbaya. All right? Have church services. Do something in your locker room to bring guys to better. And that's not a shot at going to church. I love church. I'm just being honest. Okay? Do something to change your culture. It's your locker room. So maybe somebody didn't let them know when you get paid $100 million and you play quarterback in the National Football League, it becomes your locker room. So I don't want to hear about bad environment. You change the environment. Now,
you set the tone.
I will say a lot of things. It's a bad environment. Howie Roseman's a weasel. He's the biggest crumb of all time. So it goes both. But for the first time in history, Tor, let me yell about Carson Wentz. Let me be upset.
Enjoy. I'll hold it the rationality over here.
No, I'm rational. Did I say trade him? Did I say he's not going to be here? Did I say I don't still believe in him? I want to believe. But right now, to come on here, and for anybody to even type confidently that you totally believe that none of it's on him, that's a gem.
I'm not saying none of it.
Not you.
But, well, I feel like I have to stick up for him because everyone just slanders and hates when obviously he's not playing his best. Obviously. But I'm like sticking up for him to the point where it's not 100% Carson.
I don't feel like I need to stick up for any of these guys. I don't know anything to any of these guys that I got to stick up for.
Circle the room. Ariana, is it 100% all on Carson?
No, absolutely not.
Lindsay, 100% all?
99.
No, I wouldn't say, but I agree with a lot that you are saying, Tom. I mean, sometimes it's hard for me to like interject because you get really into it, but like just when you're saying like it is, I feel like that's his responsibility to be like hyping everyone up. One thing that Chrome said earlier was like in the post-game interviews, like they look like they don't even want to be there. Like every time I wait and I read, I read like some of the things. I think it's like John Clark posts them. And he says every single time Wentz goes frustrated. We're just so frustrated. I'm like, you got anything else to say? Or are you just frustrated? Like, you know what I mean? Like I'm frustrated that you're frustrated. So no, I agree with what you guys are saying, but it's definitely not all him.
And it's not even that, Linz, I watched a couple clips. I even sent Tom one earlier in the week. When you hear like Rodney McLeod and these guys, and this isn't even post-game after a loss. This is before games. They look defeated. They look like they're expecting to lose sitting at the podium. And that, to me, is a problem.
Yeah.
Well, there's a lot of problems. So that's the problem here. Nobody's like saying, just this guy, just this guy, just this guy. It's everybody. Right? He doesn't have any talent around him. We understand this. We totally get it. I'm fine. But when I look about how comfortable you look, listen, there's a lot that goes into it. All I'm trying to tell people is, and ladies, when I yell, anytime I'm going, cut me off. I don't care. I need to give him one of these.
I liked it.
But anytime, period, just cut me off. I talk enough. So anybody, like if I get going, cut me off a little bit, right? Tori, you got something to say back? Mute my mic and let's go.
Can I do that?
I don't know. I don't think you have them capabilities.
I need the capabilities. I need the capabilities.
But listen, it's sad that we're even having the conversation because we should be better than this. We're not good, and we're going to find a lot about who wants to keep their job moving forward, right? And then I know, after Sunday, we're going to find out. I mean, who wants to come and fight, and who's ready to call the season and get off to an all inclusive. You know what I mean? Because that's sort of where they're heading after this game. So we'll see. We played well in Green Bay before. It wouldn't shock me if this team came and fought again because technically they're still in their own little in it thing in the NFC East. So it wouldn't shock me if you had effort. But, I mean, this is another game where I'm going to say I really hope he comes to play and steps up. Now, Marquise, everything you're saying is right. Everything everybody's saying about this guy's not a number one. This isn't good enough. Everything's hurting him. Yes. All that's factual. But we can't just say, oh, well, it's not his fault. You're the leader. And part of it is your fault then. It's accountability. And that's just how sports work. And so that's it. So play a little hot or not real quick with the new jerseys from the Miami Heat. Flash them up here. They are pretty. I mean,
I'm getting one.
I mean, they're hot. I hate the Heat, but I mean, I think they're hot. What do you guys think?
They're
I
hot.
put it on my Christmas list. So
Throwing it up. I think they look good.
I don't know.
I'm not gonna get the shorts, but I like the shirt.
I think
Come
the
on,
more
wear
I
out the whole outfit.
Can you imagine?
Oh, please get the shorts.
Tori, please have a picture on Instagram with the entire jersey.
You know what? No, I kind of want to.
Get a basketball, do a pose.
With
Yeah,
the new
absolutely.
Jimmy Butler sneakers.
I don't know. I mean,
I'll be single forever.
I'd rock that jersey.
You would?
Confidence, man. Yeah.
That shit is hot. Like, I don't know what anyone's talking about who says not. What do you say, Krim?
I like their other ones that they had, their other Miami Vice ones. I love these ones even more.
I know. I
And
like these ones better.
especially when you see that, and then you see what we put out there a month ago.
Right.
It's again not a banner year for 2020
Criminal.
Philadelphia sports.
Criminal.
Yeah, man, okay. Stop. I mean, it's so true. I mean, the shirt looks tough, but the shorts, hell no. So that's
Yo.
Miami stuff. I mean, yeah, if you're in Miami, you can rock them. You can rock the whole unit.
Watch me walking down Miami Street with them in Miami.
There you go.
Down Miami Street, if there's a Miami Street.
See, Jay, I don't agree with you, Jay. I think I'm not a guy who's going to wear pink, but I don't disagree. I mean, again, a man.
I'll rock some pink.
It's half pink.
I rock some pink.
That's like Miami Vice, though. Like, if you understand it's Miami Vice and what the direction they're going, I mean, I don't know. I'm not a Heat fan, so I wouldn't wear it, period. But if I was, I'm not Tory.
Okay. Is it a crime for me to buy a Miami Heat jersey if I'm a Sixers fan? Just for, let's say, Jimmy Butler, because I like him and the jersey.
What does everybody else say? I say yes.
That's a violation, or is it okay?
Violation.
Why would it be a crime? What's
What?
wrong?
I don't have an issue with buying jerseys of players that you like. I have issue with people that wear them on game days. Like, I know people that will buy, and they're Eagles fans that will buy an NFL jersey. We had this conversation, Tom, a couple of years ago with Chucks, who loved Kareem Hunt and wanted to get a Kareem Hunt jersey and wear it on a game day. I'm like, dude, you can't wear a Kansas City jersey on an Eagles game day.
No.
I don't see the big issue of it, but
I'm a collector of jerseys now.
That's fine. But in terms of,
I was gonna say, if it's more than just like, I mean, too, if you love Jimmy Butler, then like especially for that reason.
Yeah, right.
listen, if you're getting Jimmy Butler and Gordon Dragic, then we got a problem. If you like Jimmy Butler and that's your guy, there's nothing wrong with buying his jersey and wearing it.
All right.
I wouldn't wear it on a Sixers game day.
No.
Nothing wrong with that.
Wait, there's a dude in the chat that got thrown out of the game because of Jimmy Butler. I'm jealous.
I don't know, Chris. All I know is no to Jimmy Butler. No to you buying a Miami Heat, Miami Vice jersey for Jimmy Butler. All right. I mean, you got to let it go, Tor. You got to let him go. All right. I feel like the longer you hang on there, the better they do as an organization. Because
what else do I have? Carson Wentz? That's going well.
Kidding me? Did you look at our basketball team? All right. You look at the direction of our basketball team. You're going to roll your eyes at that.
Yeah.
I mean, there's no hope. You're doom and gloom about the Sixers. Oh my God, we're doing this. We're doom and gloom about the Sixers.
We gotta talk Sixers next week.
Yeah, we will talk. We will talk a little Sixers. They're getting closer. At least there's some positivity.
Until it starts, and then we're like, when's baseball season coming? Like, I can't. It's just a vicious cycle.
Is anybody going to be fighting for
Unhealthy.
baseball season?
Yes.
No, I'm done with John.
I know
Middleton.
Ariana won't.
I might be like Ariana saying, I might tell you screw baseball. The way John Middleton and the way John Middleton's acting and the Phillies brass. I mean, I might not turn another game on again. So, Philly fan, we'll talk a little Flyers. Carter Hart. Yeah, get a Carter Hart jersey. Dory, that's what Prism said.
I know. I want a Travis Konechny jersey. I'm a TK. I'm a TK girl.
Okay.
Clearly.
Clearly. All right, little shout outs before we get out of here.
Okay.
Little shout out segment. So this is a little different than Crumb. This is like happy time. You know what I mean? It's kumbaya. Somebody did something good. Who did something good this week that you can shout them out? or regardless. So I mean, somebody did something good. I mean, that's tough when you're a Philly fan right now. But around sports, there's been some things. So
I got one. So can I give a shout out to Sarah Fuller, the Vanderbilt kicker who was originally a soccer player, who was the first college football girl player, who looked amazing in her jersey. I heard her kick wasn't that great, but like, so what? She's still suited up. Like, it's dope. It's amazing. Doing things for the women. And my second shout out is
can I ask something about this first? Because I have no problem personally. I really don't care.
Yeah.
It doesn't bother me. I'm not one of them guys that this is so egregious. Nah, I'm not that guy. This is football, right? This isn't baseball, right? I just want people to understand it. This is football. This is football, right? So, like, I'm more talking about looking out for somebody's safety when we're talking about football. We're talking, you know what I mean? We're talking about football where guys are okay, but I'm just saying, like,
when do kickers get tackled?
I'm just making a point, Tori, that it can't go further than just kickers. Okay, in football, any other sport, I don't care.
Yo,
football,
I'll go out there and be a running back right now.
If you're a Dallas Cowboys kicker, you might get.
You see what I'm saying? I'm fine with the kicker. It doesn't bother me. I'm not, and even a wide receiver wouldn't bother me. I'm just making a point though. That's when somebody gets killed. That's when it gets a little too out of control. That's all my football.
It's worth it. It's worth it.
What? You got grown men 6'5" running 4 flats that are 300 pounds.
I would give my life for that.
I'm just saying, I want women to play everything they want to play in life. All right, I support it all. Okay, but football, we might want to steer away for safety reasons. There's a reason why men are faster and stronger. You know what I mean? You're just looking to get hurt on a football field. You don't agree with me there? Just football. I'm just saying football. I'm not saying any other sport. Just football. Just football. Basketball, go ball. Go ball up. All right? Baseball, go barrel up. Barrel City.
But she's not getting tackled as a kicker, so like, it's cool. She's not going to die.
I didn't say about her. I said that we got to leave it at the kickers and punters then, where somebody's not going to get smoked.
All right, well, we're not talking about the whole rest of history. We're talking about a little piece of Vanderbilt history.
I understand. I was more talking to all you ladies on your thoughts on.
How are we going to argue about even my shout out? Jesus, Tom.
I'm not arguing.
We can't agree on anything.
I agree completely. That I was just listen. It was something I was thinking about, and I was just wondering, like, do we go further than the kicker and punter?
I mean,
okay, that's fine. Teach your own. You know, I'm not the one running routes. I'm good.
I used to play tackle football when I was a kid. It's fine.
Okay.
I lived.
You were a kid.
Dudes were still big. No pads.
Girls get a little stronger faster, I feel like. You know what I mean? Like, you're 12. You're probably stronger.
Oh, I was stronger.
Yeah, you were stronger. 12-year-old at 12. Like, girls always get a little stronger sooner. You know what I mean? I think my sister could kick my ass when she was 4 years younger than me. You know what I mean? So, I mean, like, girls get a little stronger. She might still be able to kick my ass, honestly, if you want to be real. But we'll save that for another show. I was just joking. I was just like joking around. I thought we were gonna have some fun with it, Thor. My fault.
No, I know. I'm just kidding with you.
My bad. I just thought
I'm kidding with you.
I was thinking of the other men out there. Icebox, Pove, you're right. Icebox could ball.
Dude,
you're right.
Man, even virtually, I feel like the stepchild in the middle of mommy and daddy arguing.
Yeah.
It's like, I'll be like, yo, my favorite color is purple. He'll be like, how is that going to be your favorite color? You don't even look like you like purple. Blah, 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 blah.
You got your other shout out before we go over here.
A Netflix show called The Queen's Gambit. Freaking amazing. It's about chess, but like not like definitely about chess, but it's not just like watching chess. It's like really good. I think it's like 8 episodes. I watched it in like 2 nights on the air mattress up in here in Fort Lauderdale. Yeah, check it out. I'm done.
Nice. Yeah, I'll sit out chess.
It's a show.
Was I?
You want to argue about my freaking?
I'm sorry. I'm just.
Just gonna like lay back and let this go on.
It's not your fault, Chrome.
I'm sorry, mommy and daddy.
I like the way our squares are set up, though. It's fine.
Yeah, it's like what they used to do. What was the Square game they used to have on the gaming net? What was it called? I was like
Hollywood Squares.
Hollywood Squares.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. That's funny.
Here we are, Hollywood Squares. Lindsay, your turn. Shout out.
All right, my shout out. I'm going for the fact that Jason Kelsey made his 100th consecutive start at center, which
That's pretty dope.
is the longest active streak in the NFL, which is very impressive.
Wow.
And I was super impressed. So shout out to him.
Ariana, that was a good one. I didn't even know that. I probably knew that, but didn't know that. Like, that's good knowledge.
I heard it on the broadcast, yeah.
Boom. Well, she beat you to it, Tor. You didn't use it as one of your two. So you
Trying to find the positives out of yesterday's game.
That was the last positive, was when Jason Kelsey started the game.
First snap. We did it.
Yay!
My shout out is gonna not be sports related. I'm gonna shout out the hospital that safely catered to my grandma the past week and released her just before Thanksgiving, so we got to spend the holiday with her.
Aww, yay!
Love it.
That's a great shout out.
Shout out to the essential workers
Exactly.
and nice grandmoms.
Yeah. So.
My shout out's gonna be a little different. After everything that happened here. My shout out's to Carson Wentz.
You're an asshole.
I'm gonna tell you why.
He's such an asshole.
Nobody's been hit more in the National Football League, and I don't think nobody's been sacked more.
Yep.
And he's still walking and talking and still active on this roster. So
Injury prone.
Injury prone can officially go out the window. Can he play? I don't know anymore about that. But
Got injured.
That's a new argument. But Carson Wentz taking a beating this year and continuing to go out there, I'll give him love for that, because it's a guy who's had a little bit of a history. So, I'll give him I'll definitely give him love for that, for sure. Still my son. Just, I'm sending him with mom on the weekends.
He's coming right to mama's house.
Maybe even for 10-day stints. You know what I mean?
Maybe
We'll see
some
over the
boarding
holidays.
school. Boarding school.
Kramer, give a shout out, and we'll wrap this.
I got two quick shout outs. Obviously, one to Kendall Hinton, the guy who came off the practice squad, wide receiver, had to step in for the Denver Broncos. I think it's a disgrace what the NFL did with the Denver Broncos. I absolutely think they were made an example of. But for this kid to make his NFL debut, wide receiver on the practice squad, come in. He only completed one pass, I believe. But you know what? I mean, that's about as tough of a situation as I've ever heard. Maybe in part with that was the emergency goaltender that happened this past year in the NFL, which was basically a worker there. But I thought that was pretty cool for him. My other one is shout out to Peacock and the release of Saved by the Bells reboot. It's fucking great, guys. I'm telling you. You got to check it out. No, it's great. It's not exactly like the old show, but I love the addition of the other people that people were expecting. They changed the music style of the intro and stuff. But if you really go back, I've only watched a few episodes. But if you really go and you watch it and you check it out, it's got some real good nods to the old show. And there's people who are never going to be satisfied. But I've liked some of the reboots that they've had, and I think it's been a pretty good one.
Is it only on Peacock?
Correct.
Chrome, I got to interrupt real quick because you're reminding me of none of it. We never talk college football, but our last game, Temple's last game, we had our 5th string true freshman quarterback in. So that's what that was. So
Nice.
he literally woke up morning of. He's the second true freshman in line. So he literally was the last one. And he woke up day of the game, and they were like, "You're talking."
How did he do? Is he alive?
No.
God bless.
But you know what it's about? It's about effort.
Right.
It's the effort he put out.
I'm living by that. Effort. It's by effort. I love
Kendall
it.
Hinton, you know what? He might have completed one pass in the game, but he went out there and he gave a max effort.
I wanted to
saw
watch
a lot
that
more
game
from
too.
that kid. I saw a lot more from that kid than I've seen from just about everybody on this roster in the last 5 weeks.
Watch your mouth, Chrome. My son's been slandered enough tonight.
Guy completed one pass. I mean, I would just.
He's not even a quarterback.
I understand and run for 20 once in a while. He didn't even do that. So I would just
They
pump a
put,
break.
listen, the fact that they put any points on the board, which they did, they put 3 points on the board, shows he moved the ball enough at one point for them to get in field goal range. I'm in. Good for
Oh
him.
wait, why do they keep postponing the Ravens then and made the Broncos play? Like I don't understand that whole thing.
Yeah, I mean that's just to try to cater to hoping
It's
Lamar.
money.
Wait.
Exactly.
That's messed up.
It's money. It's a national TV game. They're trying to do everything they can for that. It's a disgrace. It's a
Yeah.
disgrace.
I do
Malachi,
really think so.
we'll be talking Sixers tomorrow night, buddy.
I got my
Tomorrow night. Probably has Jimmy Butler on the back of that shirt.
shut up.
It does.
Embiid.
It does, doesn't it?
No.
Oh, okay.
Okay. Free pass, Tory. Free pass.
Lord. My life.
All right. So fun show. Turn your reminders on. Turn your alerts on. Shows every night here on A2D for all types of things you're into, not just Eagles football. So we got a little bit of something for everybody here. Listen, it's been tough talking Eagles. We got through it. Hope everybody feels a little bit better about talking Eagles. Hopefully, Tori agrees with us now on the direction of Carson Wentz. So we'll find out Sunday, what he's made of. It was a fun show, ladies and Chrome. Ladies and Chrome, great show. We'll see everybody again next Tuesday. Everybody stay safe out there. Tori, enjoy the nice warm weather.
I will. Follow me on Instagram.
Bye.
Oh, that lovely weather out there in Wrigley.
I know it's so weird, right?
Tori, go take care.
Tori,
Okay, go take
Tori, when we go off the air, you're gonna walk into the cornfields and disappear.
Yeah. Please pray for me.
All right, everybody. Everybody be good
Bye, y'all.
out there. Everybody tuning in, chiming in. Thank you. We appreciate you. And I'll see everybody tomorrow night. But for everybody else, see you next week. Chrome will see you. He's around. Yeah, he's around. That's all you need to know. We out.